Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for a little bit more roasting as the Dawi are facing off once more against the High Elves. It is going to be the same build from earlier as we have quintuple Iron Drakes, going to be led by Way on the Dawi side, and Brittle Beliefs is going to be commanding the High Elves. So it is going to be a front line of Longbeards with great weapons spread across the field. We do have the Runesmith and the Rune Lord, both with Runes of Wrath and Ruin. We have 2 Organ Guns and the Dragonback Slayers. And now as for the High Elves, this time it is going to be a pair of Swordmasters of Hoeth with 3 of the White Lions of Trace to really punch through the heavy armor of the Dawi. We do also have a bunch of archers as well, as we have 4 archers with light armor, and we do have the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, which is going to be getting that nice long-range sniping ability, potentially going to shut down some of those Organ Guns, and we do have a Lion Chariot of Trace. For the Lords and Heroes, we do have Tyrion is going to be leading the forces for him. He is going to be bringing, let's take a quick little look. He actually is going to be on foot as well, making himself a little bit of a smaller target. He does have Foe Seeker. He has the Heart of Averlord, which can give him a nice little bit of 1872 heal once his hit points does get down. And he also is going to be doing Stand Your Ground. He has Feint and Riposte, and he has Sunfang, which is a nice little bit of teardrop-shaped breath attack. However, it does do magic damage, so the Dawi going to be able to tank a bit of that with their innate magic resist. And we do have a Lore Master of Hoeth with Spirit Leech, Earthblood, and Foe Seeker, and he does do armor piercing and bonus versus infantry. Everything great against the dwarves. So let's get things rolling, as the archers are going to start firing away, as well as the bolt thrower is going to start firing as well. However, the Organ Gun is going to start opening up right into these very elite Swordmasters of Hoeth as they do slowly bridge that gap. But these Iron Drakes going to have the high ground here. It is Troll Country after all, as they're going to be able to be shooting down on the approaching High Elves, as the armies are going to be clashing in just a bit here, as the Iron Drakes do open up and doing a nasty bit of fire into the Swordmasters and the White Lions, and they're going to be having plenty of those volleys today. One of the Organ Guns has been shut down from the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. That is only going to be 1 down. We do have a Spirit Leech going to be going down on top of the Runesmith. He's going to be able to tank that fairly decently, but a little bit of damage ain't going to hurt nobody. Know how? No, I think that Earthblood's going to be helping with that. It would be a better use of the magic. It looks like we had a Sunfang. There is that Sunfang going to be ripping through. Now, with the teardrop shape, you do want to be casting that a little bit farther back so it does get most of that spread. Though, against that kind of infantry unit of the Longbeards there wasn't really a mass of units where it would have been able to catch everything even at its max range. But now we do have some Lion Chariots of Trace going to be looking to get into the back line of these Iron Drakes, shutting them down. But here is that Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin. That is going to be a 30-second slow, but look at the front line. It's just crumbling under the Iron Drakes. And now these Lion Chariots of Trace going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place, as they are just getting melted by all these Iron Drake fires, and these lovely Dragonback Slayers are going to be hunting, and that is a 30-second time. If you take a little look, we still have about 10 seconds left on it by my reckoning. So those Iron Drakes should be, or the Dragonback Slayers should be able to get on top, get them slowed down even more. And they are going to be routing off the field. And these White Lions trying to get into that back line of Iron Drakes, but they could not get close enough, as they just get melted by the onset of fire. Balance power is now slightly in the Dawi favor, but clearing out Tyrion and the Lore Master of Hoeth is going to be a little bit more difficult for the Dawi here, considering they don't really have any good anti-hero characters. They have a Rune Lord and a Runesmith, not really known to be able to go toe-to-toe with Tyrion. So they're going to have to try and drag him down, as the Organ Gun crew losing all 3 of their models. Now, they do have 3 very healthy ones still left who are firing away, as they are going to be targeting the Lion Chariots by the looks of things. Some of the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, one of them has gone down and is taking some fire, but is going to be continuing to arc its fire right into those Organ Guns, shutting them down bit by bit. But now that front line of High Elves is really going to be shattering left, right, and center here, as we do have these Dragonback Slayers, though, taking a lot of fire from all of these archers right now, really whittling them down, and they would have been a decent candidate to help whittle down Tyrion and that Lore Master, but they are taking a ton of damage. They still have 15 models, but they are just very, very low on HP. Should be able to deal a nice damage to these Lion Chariots. There is all 3 models left still. They did get a little Earthblood in there, So they haven't lost any models yet, so they have quite a bit of healing left, but these organ guns are pretty close by and could easily peel off a couple models with just a couple volleys if they are going to get that target. Otherwise, these archers still be able to fire away. If we take a look back, where is that Eagle Claw? Oops, that Eagle Claw bolt thrower has taken quite a bit of damage, and away he does go. So the organ gun's going to be able to fire away for the rest of the battle here. That other crew, wherever it is, could have been potentially used to field these guns once these ammo has been used. But right now, the Lion Chariot's going to be getting on top of them. They do have the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin on top of them, and we do have some very depleted Slayers, 7 of them left, going to be wailing on them, trying to peel off some models. They still have all 3 of them left, but they should be starting to lose a 1 or 2 potentially here. But those Slayers getting so low still have 7 left, but those organ gun crews starting to waver and rout, and the rest of the Iron Drakes, though, are sitting very, very healthy, and they still have quite a bit of ammunition left. They really don't use their ammunition very, very quickly, and compared to some units that, like, for example, the Archers here are almost all depleted, and now these Iron Drakes are just going to be able to just kind of work things out. We still have some very healthy Longbeards, which are going to be able to do some decent damage in the late game if they don't take too much more friendly fire. But these Archers, I don't know if they're going to be much use here for the rest of the match. Lots of heavy armor left for the Dawi here. And surprisingly, these Lion Chariots are still in the fight, all 3 of them. Dragonback Slayers trying to catch them down, get a few hits maybe in the rear unit, might be able to take it down. But Tyrion and the Lore Master should make quick work of these last remaining 3. Only 2 left now, but a nice little volley trying to catch in, probably finishing off their own Slayers. But now it's going to come down to, can the Dawi deal with Tyrion and that Lore Master? Lore Master should still have some healing left. The only thing that they've got going for them is they should be able to really spread out these Iron Drakes and get some focus fire in. Now that Runesmith is going to lose that engagement pretty handedly. And having these Lion Chariots as well up and running is going to be a bit of a problem. They're going to probably would be best to actually focus down these chariots because that mobility is going to be very important. But we do have some organ gun crews up onto these units. They have all 3 left, and they are going to have some nice little range to fire in, deal with these Lion Chariots. And once they are dealt with, they can just hold the Lore Master and Tyrion at bay and should be able to clean things up at that point, especially with how low that Lore Master is getting. He is very low at like another volley. He might even go after just this one, as he does actually go down from that organ gun firing away, and the Lion Chariots still going to be roaming free. See if they do get dealt with, as they do now set their sights on that organ gun up the hill. But Tyrion is going to be pretty much standing alone right here. A Rune of Wrath and Ruin did get down on top of it, but it was already in the middle of its charge, so it still got its charge off into those organ guns. But we do have just 4 units of Iron Drakes kind of be firing away into the rears, doing some decent work. Man, those chariots have probably been doing some pretty good work so far this match, as Tyrion is now just going to be stuck in with all of these Longbeards, and even the Rune Lord going to be coming in to melee here. Tyrion should pretty handedly win that engagement, though with all of the fire from these Iron Drakes, that might be still enough to really do enough damage to make keeping him in battle worth it, because he is a single card, as he does actually get a Rune of Wrath and Ruin on top of him from the Runesmith up on the hill, as those Lion Chariots do get start looking for other targets, as they have been able to push off those organ guns. And with only 4 units left, they might be able to man one of their units, but they are getting very, very low. But now Tyrion is caught in the crossfire of all of these Iron Drakes, and he is just going to be getting roasted here. And honestly, the leadership is probably what's going to break for Tyrion at this point. He does have Feint of Riposte on, so he is getting a pretty meaty stat line if we take a look at him. 107 melee attack, 120 melee defense. He is not going to be taking any damage from that Rune Lord, and he is going to be dishing it out and then some. But man, all of this fire, napalm just scorching the battlefield, shaking that camera pretty heavily, as it is just focusing down Tyrion as best that they can. But the thing is, with Tyrion, he does have a bit of fire resist, so we're going to take a quick little look at that as well. He does have 45% fire resist, so he's really not going to be taking as much damage from all of these Iron Drakes, unlike the Swordmaster, who was able to take them. And we even have some archers now keeping those Iron Drakes busy, and we even have some returning Swordmasters and a few more shots raining in from those archers. But yeah, these Lion Chariots finally routing, still have all 3 of their models up. They have never lost a single one all battle long. and it's going to be a slow drag for the final win here. Dawi definitely ahead in the balance of power, but Tyrion, he is quite a beast in melee, and he may just be able to tank it, considering unless that organ gun came back, I do not see it back up on the hill. And I think that the Dawi player definitely needed to focus down those lion chariots earlier on, because they could keep Tyrion and that Loremaster away from him. Didn't need to focus them down so early on. And had that been that organ gun up on the hill firing into Tyrion, there would have been nothing that the High Elves could have done with that. Archers have used up the last of their ammunition, but these Iron Drakes going to easily keep everything else at bay. Chariot does shatter, and I think army losses is probably going to be fairly soon here, even though Tyrion has not yet hit his Heart of Averlorn, so he is getting down to that threshold, but it's going to be too little too late, as he does route to army losses, unable to get that healing proc, which may have been able to get him to really carry against all those units, but those were Longbeards with great weapons. Would have been a little harder task for him to deal with. So let's take a look at the after battle report. As I was thinking, that Lion Chariot of Trace did quite well, getting 2,000 in value, able to really shut down, pretty much stayed active throughout the entire battle, dealing with those organ guns, who themselves did fairly decently, 1,700 on one of them, but the units of the hour, the Iron Drakes, just absolutely scorching everything, just so much damage between all of those units. Every single one of them getting, was the over 1,200 a piece, some of them even getting up to 1,800. That is some impressive damage coming the way of those Iron Drakes. Slayers themselves really didn't do a whole lot. They got themselves caught out, got a little too far ahead of themselves, got into all those archers. They really needed to probably stay with those organ guns and be that hard counter to those chariots, because once they got into those archers, they just got melted and were pretty much a non-factor. As you can even see, the front line of Longbeards, really none of them really paid for themselves either. This one unit did, but otherwise it was pretty much all the heavy lifting was done by these Iron Drakes on that front line, kind of like the other match. Really making see all these White Lions just doing absolutely no value here. Even these Sword Masters only getting 300. I mean, that's pretty much a non-factor here. Really, it was the chariots that really kind of carried the day for the High Elves, making it as close as it was. And Tyrion himself, I kind of like his pick on foot. Unfortunately, he didn't get his Heart of Averlorn, so he wasn't able to really heal up and kind of get that extra boost to that balance of power, and army losses did take it, and was unfortunately lost due to leadership. But a very fun match, and I do hope you all enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good one.